Hey everyone, I'm Dale Hayward, and this is the general overview of the animation development for the short film Bon Appetit. Right off the bat, collage has always felt right for this project, and it's really fun to see the images distorted onto the exaggerated designs. Photoshop and After Effects provide a lot of flexibility to animate this crazy cast of characters, but there are a lot of ways to do that. So we went through a series of tests to see how far it could be pushed before committing it to a certain style. So first off, I wanted to keep it simple, so just some basic movements of the head and some puppet tools just to give some life to the face. Test number 2, I started to play around with building the face of Daisy a bit more. So what I did is based on a depth map, which is just a black and white picture to show white is the highest, black is the farthest back. Got some interesting results out of it, but you can see from it's fake 3D. So once it starts getting thrown into After Effects and layering and stuff, it just breaks things apart. Next up is test number 3. This one was more of a traditional build in After Effects. So I broke parts of the face down to kind of get some pseudo, it's a bit of 3D, but just sort of basic build 3D of the face. You can get some interesting stuff, but it would require quite a bit of work to get it to where I would be really happy with it, especially around in the neck. But it was interesting to try and build all of this stuff. Test number 4 was just a simple little test that I wanted to keep it everything more flat, not try to make it too much 3D. So I tried a smear test. Interesting stuff. Maybe for later. Test number 5, I decided to go more back to, again, the flat route and just play around with some puppet tool in the face. So the eyebrows go wider and we get a little bit of a squint, but just going simple, no in-betweens. And the face was the retimed video footage of the mouth talking. So here's with the dialogue. It tastes so good. Which is kind of fun to use that as material for what we're animating. Test number 6, total revamp of the character design and the environment. Went off the farm and went in at a meat counter, more into the story where we're going to be. And then I broke apart her body to being more animatable, and also give her a little bit more movement in her body and her neck, have more of a story to it, that she's eating some of these hunk wings, starting to, again, play around with more of the background to further develop the style through this test, but still keeping it quite flat. So not trying to make it too 3D. And then in test 7, we decided to try the vertical formatting and a few different potential compositions. We're really liking this idea. It feels really current and modern to what's going on, how people tell stories through their phones all the time. And then in test 8, I went ahead and built much more of the environment in 3D, took the elements that were designed in the environment just to get a bit more 3D out of the environment, but still keeping things fairly flat. And then Sylvia and I tested out different compositions of the cameras and just to play around how can that help tell the story a little differently. Then we also played around with depth of field, the more out of focus element, make it feel more documentary feeling, a little bit of camera movement, just to sort of make it feel like it's a handheld. The vertical format allows us to really sort of narrow in the audience's focus. So we edited the shots together, added some sound effects, re-recorded the dialogue, and added a little bit of music.
You know, at the family farm, we love our hunks. They're well fed and free range. And they taste so good.